As you already know, I have scrubbed the van from head to toe and I have got rid of all that horrible grit and grime, and it has come up a treat. So now all I need to do is carpet the shelf that sits beneath the headliner, and then I'm going to fully insulate it and put it back in the van. And the insulation I'm using, I think, is the best you can put in a small van. In fact, I think it's the best you can put in any van. I'm also going to fully insulate the floor and refit it, so then that gives me a base to work from to start getting the rest of the van complete. It's starting to come together. Get in. Next up then, we have this shelf which needs a good clean, bit of soapy water and some elbow grease, and we'll get all this mank off it. It's definitely not going back in my van looking like that. There's also a couple of little sharp areas, like these two little ridges here, which I think will be for some structure, but they don't really seem to be doing much. So I'm going to get a sharp knife and cut them out, and then that allows me to carpet it. And I will not carpet over all this grease and mank because, for one, it won't stick very well, and another reason, I am not the type of person that will sweep things under the carpet, literally. So I will make sure that it gets all cleaned up, and then we can see, because if it's softened, all this on the inside with some carpet, then I can shove things up like a down jacket, a down sleeping bag, tent, and then it's got less chance of getting damaged. That is the plan. Right, let's get on and do a bit more. I do not like these two bits which are quite sort of sharp edged. The rest of it's actually not too bad, but I just want to carpet line all this. So by doing that, rather than having to mess about with all this, I'm going to cut these out. They don't look like they're doing anything anyway, and with a nice sharp knife I'm hoping I can sort it. Not with that blade though, I could honestly ride their ass to China with that. Let's get a new one in. That's better. So I'm just gonna see if I can gently cut this off. Now that's coming off quite well actually. That is cut, and it is maybe 10mm short, so luckily it's stretch carpet, I should be able to pull it into place. I'm going to start in the middle and work out both ways, because if you look on this side, we've got these little lines which obviously holes through into that top section, and if I just spray this carpet with tons of glue on this and then stick it down, that glue is going to show there. So yes, it is covered by the, whatever you call it, sun visors, but it will not look that neat when the sun visors are down. So I'm going to just do some precision glue spraying. That's the way to do it, I think. Beautiful. Oh, so I've already sprayed over that one, which is good. Not so precision, look at that. Just looks like a load of cobwebs. So sod that idea, I'm just going to spray through it, get it glued down, and I will beg forgiveness later. That's the way to do it. Right, I've got that side done. And I'm just short like I thought, but it's right in the corner there, and it's now that a blind man and a galloping horse will not see. Oh, I'm 10p short of this end as well. 10p short. Don't be a dunce, measure twice, cut once. Oh well. As I say, now that a blind man and a galloping horse will not see. That has not come out bad at all. This side is pretty much perfect. And then we go to this side, and it looks like some bikini lines that I've seen in the past. So not quite as good, but I'm going to get my scissors out and my knife, and I'm just going to trim this up, and any glue excess, we're just going to rub that off as well. But overall, well happy with that. I found a fix for the glue overspill on those lines, and it involves a bit of colouring in. So if you look at this side here, that is already coloured in, and then if I bring you out into this side, that looks like a right mess. That works wonders. See, at primary school you did all that colouring in and painting by numbers, and finally it's come into use. 40 years in the making, eh? Like riding a bike though, innit? You never forget. There we go, looking swish. All I need to do now is marry this up with that headliner, and that will create a nice sort of soft area just to shove a load of kit in. So yeah, very happy with that. Insulation time, and this for me is a very important one. I want this van to be kept nice and warm in winter and cool in summer. So I am going to use this product, which I've used several times doing loads of loft conversions, and it is brilliant, especially when space is at a premium. And the fact that the van is not square, you can actually bend and shape this just to suit whatever you want, because literally it is a quilt. I'll just show you what it is. It's actually called SuperQUILT, this one. That is a brand name, but there's several different ones out there. This was originally designed to be used in spaceships, so it is well cool. And now obviously it's used in the building industry. If I just show you the end of this, you can see here we've got all these different layers of insulation. There's 19 in total, and we've got several of the reflective sort of layers, which obviously acts as a vapour barrier as well. And then we've got some layers of wadding as well, which just allows it to loft and trap some air in there. So for me, I actually don't think I'm going to get better to put in that van to keep me nice and warm in winter. So let's cut a bit and get some banged in there. So where I've made this cut here, I'm going to tape the edge because it just holds it all together. And when I start cutting, so I need to cut this a little bit shorter, it ends up just being lots of layers that just want to go all over the place. So you just need to try keep it as one solid unit. Luckily this tape's forgiving because I'm obviously putting bends in it, making a right mess. Once it's sort of done on one side, I'm just going to fold it over, bind it all together. Just like that. There we go then, one full piece of insulation ready to go in. If you can see there, I've put a mark on the actual centre point because I'm going to line that up with the centre of the cab, and then obviously we need to just feed it up and get it to work tomorrow. Anyway, come on, let's go do it. Let's get in here. Sit in a comfy seat, then try and get it to stick up there somehow, which might be a bit awkward. I have got some double-sided sticky tape, so I think I'll bob a bit of that on and that'll just help hold it in place, just long enough to get this headliner put back in. That might just do it. I do have a couple of little cutouts actually for the packers for those spongy bits that hold off the headliner. So I'm going to get my knife out, I think, make a hole and then just sort of ease it round it. Let's do that. I've just cut round the two packers for the roof liner there. That's one side, and then the other side here, done exactly the same, but I've taped over it, so I'm just going to tape over this one now. Done. So before I continue then, I am going to drill out the original fixing holes for the ceiling, because they used to use those little crappy plastic clips and they're pretty naff, and I need something a bit more substantial, so I'm going to put in some rivet nuts which then can support a better ceiling. And also along this point here I might need to put some sort of curtain rail, so obviously I need it to be strong enough to support that as well. So let's bang some rivet nuts in. Time to fit this roof liner in now, and I washed my hands because I made this beautifully clean and I do not want to get it grubby again. So let's see if we can wrestle this into place. This is not going to be easy. Let's bring you in, eh? You come and have a look here. Right, here goes then. Come on, why are you not going? What's up with you? What's up with you? Come on, shitbag. Come on. Oh, before I get any more colourful language, I'm turning you off. Ah, blooming heck, I tell you what, that took some fettling getting that back in position. It was a little awkward and brought out some colourful language, and because of that I may be going to hell. Anyway, she's up and looking beautiful, just all clean, and that's the main sort of thing. These side pillars here took a little bit of effort to get in place because a couple of the clips dropped off, rattled down here, and I heard them drop into behind the dash section, so I had to go down underneath here and then undo a clip just to sort of fish up and get them back out again, but that wasn't a problem. So that one's up, and if you look around here we've got that one nice and clean as well. Lights back in. What else? This is up, but as you can see we don't have a clip here for that because the original ones, which is that, had broken, so there's no actual hook on there to hook these back on. So I bought a nice new set and I'm going to get these up now. But the main thing is we've got all that insulation up behind this, which is going to hopefully prevent any condensing water, and obviously that would lead to a bit of damp and then potentially mould, which can get into the roof liner, and I do not want that. And obviously it's going to be warmer as well, which makes a difference, so happy with that. One thing I haven't done yet is attach this, as you can see, because obviously I've got a roof coming through here which is going to come to about this point, and there might be some sort of curtain rail thing that's going to go through that as well. So anyway, I'll work that out at a later date. But the cab is pretty much complete now, and that just means that I can concentrate on the rest of it back there. Anyway, we'll carry on with the next job. Let's just get these clips up. One and two. That's nice and solid. And it works. And then we've got two new covers to put on as well. It's just a simple little clip in. Just need to get it the right way around, that's all. And that's it. Done. Another job finished. What's next? Woo! I've banged some insulation in both sides here, which is all going to help towards keeping me nice and warm in here. And I've left a space out there where the speaker's sort of going to go, and now I need to fit this back. But obviously where the speaker goes, I'm going to have to cut this off through there and then fit it, just so obviously the back of the speaker will fit in. But at least that's sort of one job done and all sort of finished off. I'm going to cut both these sides here just for the speakers, so I'm cutting at this point here where I've drawn this line, if you can see that, and that just allows these last two fixings to stay in place, and that is plenty of space to fit the back of the speaker anyway, and that will just hold all the insulation in. So let's get on and do these cuts. Bring you down and you can watch me cut something, it's well exciting. Was that fun? Do you want to watch another one? Thought you might. Exciting stuff, eh? I'm still debating where to bring these cables out, because obviously I need to drill a hole in here. Anyway, whilst I am thinking about that in my head, I am gonna get rid of this, and this is something that was holding the old sort of jack basically, and it's going to be in the way because there used to be a cutout here on the side panel, but I'm putting new side panels in and I want it to be nice and flush to this pillar here. So that's either going to have to go, let's just have a look. Ah, it actually sits behind the line. There's just these two bits here, so let me grab the hammer. Let's see if I can smash them flat. That was easy. I was worried about getting a grinder out on that one. Just double check. It's about 1mm proud, so I can cope with that. Right, I'm going to film myself thinking out loud. So here we have got a double 12-volt socket, and also going in this area here we have got a 240 double socket with probably 2 USB ports in it, just to give me options of what I can do out the back of the van. Now obviously to reach it from the back of the van I need it to be as close to the back as possible. The problem with that is if this and the 240 sits somewhere here, it could be set into this. I can cut some of this metal out. That's great because I can reach it, but then we've got this space here which is just dead space, and I'm thinking I might build some sort of box in here. But if there's a box here, then this is going to have to sit in the face of the box. If I do that, then the back of this and the wires are going to sort of be in the box. It's almost pointless anyway because you're going to lose a bit of that space. So the next thing is to move it this way, and this is pretty much dead space anyway, which is over the actual wheel, over the wheel arch. And if I set it in there, in some sort of boxing, or in this back thing, I don't know, I might be able to fit it in there, then at least it's out of the way. But like I'm stood outside now, but I would have to reach to put things in, and because I'm having a cupboard here, I might have to sort of duck down to see what I'm doing. So I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. I just don't know. This is my dilemma. It's all about trying to work out the best scenario to suit my needs, not about anybody else's. It's for me. But I mean, it will be great just to have something like this at the back anyway, because obviously I can run tools off my 240, anything out of the back, which would be great. I could run a kettle off that 240, I could run a 12-volt kettle off here, or a 12-volt shower. So it all needs to be this way as much as possible. Go on. Like that, constantly like this with a van like this small. Honestly, I'll think about it another day. Today's job, I am going to fit the floor, and I'm going to use the original mat that came out of here because when I jet washed it, it came up really clean, and I thought, why waste it? It's already cut to fit, it's already insulative because it's got like a dense sort of foam set underneath a piece of rubber. Obviously it's hard wearing, and that is going to obviously save a lot of time and money of me trying to make something new. The thing I'm going to do though to make it better is this. If you can see here, I have fit a full piece of SuperQUILT all the way through here, and the good thing about this SuperQUILT is that it fits exactly between the wheel arches, so it's absolutely perfect for that. And that is going to add a massive amount of insulation into this van. Obviously you lose heat from all directions, so it's going to reduce a massive amount of heat going down through the floor. So if you just look here, I'll pull this up. I've given the floor a really nice good clean again, and the only problem I've got to think about is, as you can see, we've got these pieces of metalwork everywhere, and I need to cut the insulation. Hold on. I'm going to have to cut a slit in this insulation and make it sort of fit round each one of these, and then I'll tuck the insulation underneath the mat there, and obviously the new mat is going to go and sit on top and line up with this. That is the plan, and I think it's going to work quite well because this stuff is quite flexible, and obviously with all these sort of ripples in the bodywork here, it'll just sit and settle into that after a week or two of just sort of vibrating about and walking on it. So anyway, let's bash on to get it done. Polished up these 6 original chrome lash down points, so they're looking nice and clean now. And then this insert here was very rusty and pretty bent, so I've reshaped it, ground off all the rust with a grinder, and then painted it with this mottled black paint, which fits in perfectly with the floor itself. There we go, we have got the floor laid in, and it is looking absolutely spot on. It just finishes it off, and it's a little bit like when you are refurbishing a house and everything's a mess for so long, and then finally you get to that stage where you put your carpets in and it just lifts the place and it just feels like a home. So straight away, with the softness of this, it definitely feels like a home for me. I've got it fit in all the different positions all the way around there. I just need to finally fit this back bit. As you can see, we've got this insulation here, which is just a massive bonus to the van. It's going to obviously help massively with the heat retention. And what I've done is I've fully wiped down this seal, so that's ready to go back on. I've obviously washed this, so this can just clip back in. And these little tie-on points with the bolts, I've just polished those up so they're nice and clean. And now it's a case of laying this on and trying to get it to fit again. And if it doesn't fit perfectly, then something's not quite right, and I can see what it is. And just to put something through a hole here. There we go. Absolutely spot on. So yeah, don't be forcing anything, because if you do, you've got a good chance of breaking it. So there we go. The floor is complete and I am well happy with the way it's turned out. I've now got a floor that is fully insulated. It will take a wet dog. It's sweepable. It's soft to walk on. It's hard wearing. It fits well and it looks good. I've refit all the plastic trims for where the seats attach, and where the two parts of the flooring actually join together, there's a rubber overlap, and all I've done is use some contact adhesive and stuck it together so it's all nice and tidy. Anyway, me and Blue are a couple of steps closer to getting out on some even more epic adventures. So you know what to do. Give the video a big fat thumbs up. Comment, tell me how bad my ideas are, and we will see you on the next one. Take care, guys.